When I was a kid, I used to go to my grandparents' house, and they had this huge tree in their backyard, which went up like this and was just cutting through the roof because it was so huge. So they had to create a hole in the roof so that the tree is allowed to go up there. Basically, my grandfather loved that tree, and I used to climb that. I just used to climb that, and I just made a swing out of blankets on one of its branches. So I just tied one end of the blanket at this branch and the other end at the other branch, right? And I used to have all of my lunch and breakfast there. My grandmother cooked me lunch, and I just used to try and climb up the tree all the way up and just had my lunch there. All of the effort it took to grab the lunch to the tree and then just set it out completely was worth it, because I was just having fun at that point, right? That effort was really worth it. But now that I think about it, I was an asshole back then because my mother was working, so she used to leave me at my grandparents' house after school, right? So I just had to wait the whole day for my mother to take me home. Because my home had a TV, I just wanted to go home and watch TV because my grandparents didn't have any TV. After my mother grew up, they threw away the TV because their dopamine was radios and newspapers. And they didn't have a TV, so I didn't have any cheap dopamine at that time. And I just wanted to go home. But now that I think about it, my grandparents passed away 5 years ago. And I have all of the things in the world. I have Wi-Fi, this phone, this laptop, this TV. And I don't want to use it anymore. I just want to climb that tree again with my grandparents. And it's not a sob story. My point is, the real dopamine I used to get at my grandparents' house was like phenomenal. My grandmother just used to cook me a lot of things at that point. But now I just really crave that. Because at that point I didn't think it had any value. Dude, what do you expect? I was like 7. But now I just really miss it. Not even my grandparents, but those memories. Because those memories are never going to come back. Neither are my grandparents. So it's just that the dopamine I used to get from them was real, and the dopamine I'm getting right now is so fake. Even after consuming it, I'm left with this loneliness, this feeling of emptiness. And it's just so bullshit, man. Like, it doesn't have any value on me. That's my reason to just not indulging in a lot of things that normal people are addicted to. For example, Netflix, web series, porn, video games. I'm not indulged into that. Because after my grandparents passed away, I never got that real dopamine that I always used to get. For the initial years, I started to crave that, and I started to indulge in these things like Netflix and porn. But now, I just got bored of it. The real dopamine has a lot of value to me than this cheap dopamine. This cheap dopamine is like, it's no value at all. At this point, I want to do the same things again. Like, I really want to do the things that I used to do at my childhood. And for a lot of people, and even for you, this is the same thing, right? You used to do a lot of cool stuff when you were a child. But ask yourself this question. Did you stop doing those things because you grew up? Or you stopped doing those things because you started to please people and you started to think what other people thought of you? The latter, right? People don't stop doing those childhood things because they grew up. They stop because they start to think what other people thought of them. Because you're literally taking away your happiness because you're thinking what other people are thinking about you. And that is the worst, right? You're taking away your happiness for the people who don't even care about you. For me, I can't even bring those memories back because my grandparents are just not here anymore. They don't exist anymore. But for you, there could be a lot of things that is available to you that you used to do in your childhood, right? And you are just not doing that anymore for the sake of other people. Like, just have some respect for yourself, man. So just stop thinking what other people are thinking about you and start thinking what you are thinking about yourself. And after that, you will really enjoy your life. You will make every day a sick day. And until then, bye.